In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 leaders in NHL rookie scoring so far in the 2018-19 season. There certainly are a lot of surprise rookies so far this season. We'll discuss those players coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, today I want to take a look at the top 10 leaders in NHL rookie scoring. When you take a look at the breakdown here, there is a lot of surprises and there's a lot of great rookies so far having great starts to their young NHL careers that really weren't on a lot of people's radar heading into the beginning of this season and even into training camp. There's a lot of big-time rookies that are expected to do great things that have certainly started much slower than many of us had predicted or projected. And the rookie race for the Calder Trophy is pretty wide open at this point. Also because of a couple of key injuries that we've seen here in the past week or so as well. Now let's take a look at the top 10 scores here in the NHL rookie race. We're going to put this up on the screen and we'll go through them here and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the surprise entries on this list. So you look at leading the way here, we get Vancouver Canucks forward Elias Pettersson, who has 8 points in 5 games, who was an absolutely phenomenal player, has had a tremendous start to his career with 5 goals in 5 games before that unfortunate incident with Florida Panthers defenseman Mike Matheson, which resulted in a Pettersson injury. Of course, Matheson was suspended for that. We've discussed that here quite a bit on this channel here since it happened. It's not quite clear at this point how long Pettersson will be out, but he is suffering from concussion-like symptoms, so it's just really difficult to say. Hopefully for his and the Canucks' sake, it is not too long. But Pettersson's certainly playing a big role for the Canucks, playing about 15 minutes a game, getting opportunities on the power play as well. So he's certainly a dynamic player, and should he get back sooner than later and go anywhere near that pace, he likely will be the favorite for the Calder this season, I would think. Number 2 on this list is a major surprise. We've got Ottawa Senators young defenseman Maxime, who was a 2016 5th-round selection. He's 20 years old, played his first pro season last year in their American Hockey League affiliate with Belleville. Had a decent season, but he's never really been known as a big offensive defenseman. So far in 6 games, Lajoie's put up 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points, playing over 20 minutes a night. Now, I know Ottawa is a team that doesn't have a ton of depth and created some opportunities for their young players, but still, he's a guy that going into training camp was way down the depth chart and played his way onto this roster and is getting top 4 minutes and performing amazingly well. You may be able to make an argument here that Lajoie might be the biggest rookie surprise so far here in this young season. Now, right behind him on that list is his teammate, Brady Tkachuk, Ottawa Senators' 4th overall pick from the 2018 draft here. He got off to a fantastic start here as well. Missed the first couple games due to injury, but since then he came in and scored 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points in 4 games, playing over 14 minutes a game, getting a lot of time on the power play as well. So Brady Tkachuk's another guy like Pettersson, just went down with another injury, is expected to be out for about a month, so that's going to create more of an opportunity here for some of the guys lower than him on the list to jump ahead and see here, but Tkachuk's played a big role for the Sens so far. Number 4 here, we got Maxime of the Anaheim Ducks, who's put up some great numbers as well. 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points in 7 games, playing just shy of 16 minutes a night. Certainly got a big role there with the Ducks. Now, I guess the question here with Comtois is as they're getting more of their regular guys back, we just seen Kessler return. We've seen Nick Ritchie just get signed. Getzlaf has been out. Will his role diminish and will he get fewer minutes on the ice here as a lot of those other veteran guys come back from injuries, which certainly could impact his production here as well. So we'll see what happens here for Comtois, but either way, he's had a great start, very impressive. I honestly thought that he may not get as much of a chance as some other guys like Sam Steele and Troy Terry, but he's really seized the opportunity and proved so far that he's the best rookie for that club this season. Number 5 on the list is another bit of a surprise here. Not a complete shocker that he made the NHL, but a surprise to me that he's doing as well as he is, and that's Warren Fogle of the Carolina Hurricanes. That whole team is surprising everybody so far. He's played in 7 games, put up 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points, getting over 15 minutes of ice time per game. So Fogle's fit in quite nicely there, getting oftentimes getting second line minutes. So Fogle, another guy to keep your eye on here as well. Number 5 in rookie scoring so far. Next up, we got Henry Jokiharju of the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, again, another guy that I expected to probably make the team this year, or at least get a tryout of games for sure. Didn't know he'd be playing this bigger role for the Hawks, but he's really played himself into a much bigger role than certainly I projected, and I assume a lot of other people as well. He's playing over 21 minutes per game, so he's getting top 4 minutes, and he has 5 assists in 6 games for Chicago. At the same time, he also has a +3 rating. Now, I know a lot of people don't always put a lot of stock into the plus-minus, but for a defenseman to be +3, playing 21 minutes a game, 5 assists in 6 games, you're 19-year-old, you're a rookie, former first-round pick just from a year ago. That's an absolutely phenomenal start for his young career here. So I've been very impressive. Had a chance to watch him play a couple times, and he's doing quite well. You don't really see a whole lot of mistakes out there. He's very composed. And, certainly, arguably the top D outside of Lajoie right now in the rookie class at this point in time. Next up on the list, we've got Brett Houghton here. Brett Houghton with the New York Rangers came over from Tampa in the trade for Ryan McDonagh at the deadline last year. It's a little bit of a surprise he made it. Not a complete shocker that he's in the NHL right now, but I thought that Elias Anderson, for example, might get a shot over him. But Houghton certainly earned that spot in training camp. He's put up 2 goals and 2 assists so far for 4 points. Getting about 14.5 minutes per game. So Houghton certainly playing a decent role here for the Rangers. Number 8 on the list, this is a little bit of a surprise, and it's a surprise that he's not higher, and I guess we'll see if he gets his stride here and kind of picks things up. But Carolina Hurricanes top pick, number 2 overall from the 18 draft, Andrey Tsvetkov. So far in 7 games, has 2 goals and 2 assists. So I don't think we really need to be too concerned about Svechnikov. He's played about 13 minutes per game ice time here. I do think things will pick up here as the season goes along. Perhaps it's been a little bit bigger of an adjustment here than some might have given him credit for. But either way, I think he's done pretty good. But being such a high pick, coming in with such high pedigree, I know I probably expected him to be a little bit ahead of that pace here, but we'll see how things go throughout the rest of the year. Number 9, we've got Dominic Kahana of the Chicago Blackhawks. So far, he's played 6 games with a goal and 3 assists for 4 points. He's +3, and he's getting about 14 minutes of ice time as well. So another guy who I thought they might give a shot at to Dylan Sikura more so, but he was outplayed and earned his spot here, and he's making the most of it so far. And the number 10 rookie scoring leader right now, John Sebastian Day, who's also a bit of a surprise with the New Jersey Devils, got into 5 games, and he scored 3 goals, and he's a +4, but he's only getting about 10 minutes of ice time per game, so really shows he's really making the most of his opportunities, scoring with limited action on the ice. But he was a waiver claim that the Devils got from the Pittsburgh Penguins right during training camp here as they were finalizing their rosters, and he's fit in nicely and done an admirable job so far, where he wasn't getting a lot of an opportunity with the Penguins, took an opportunity here with the Devils and is making the most of it so far. So another key surprise here. So I think it's safe to say that 6 or 7 of these top 10 rookie scoring leaders are certainly guys that are surprises. Some of them are surprised that they're even in the league. Some of them are surprised that they're getting as much of an opportunity and much ice time as they are. At this point, I know it's early, so the Calder Trophy race is certainly wide open. I think you can make an argument that Pettersson right now might still be the favorite, even though he's injured, but Brady Tkachuk was certainly giving him a good, rivaling there, and now he's hurt too. So with those 2 guys out, then of course don't forget about Rasmus Dahlin. Just because he's not on this list doesn't mean he's not playing well. He's getting a fair bit of ice time with the Sabres. Dahlin as a whole has played pretty good. He just didn't make this list because he didn't have enough points, but really I do think that he's still in the conversation here for the Calder Trophy. There's a handful of NHL prospects that didn't even end up making the NHL or got very little action before they were either demoted down to the AHL or sent back to junior for the season. So there's certainly a lot of guys that we thought would be in the Calder Trophy race and leading near the top of the scoring race leaders that are not even in the NHL right now. For example, we've got Eeli Tolvanen with the Nashville Predators. He had a terrific year last year. Tore it up in the KHL. He got to play in the Olympics, played in the World Juniors. He just absolutely tore it up last year. Got into Nashville at the Preds at the end of the year, got into a few games. By that point, he had played a ton of hockey. It was a major adjustment, getting into the pro game at the NHL level. So there really wasn't a whole lot of thought put into that. I really thought going into training camp, he'd have an excellent shot at making the Predators roster. But instead, he's in the American Hockey League. And there is a possibility that he very well might not even have a chance to come back to the Predators this year. It's really hard to say because he does have a clause in his contract that once he plays 10 American Hockey League games, that he has the right to leave that team and go back to the KHL rather than stick that out. Now, the main reason for that is mainly for financial purposes. Even though the Predators might feel it's better for his game to get adapted to the North American style of game, and playing in the American Hockey League might be better for him, playing in the KHL is going to certainly be much better for his pocketbook. So depending on how he feels about it, it's hard to say if they come to a difference of opinion or not. So it is possible that Tolvanen may head back to the KHL this season, and he very well may not get his rookie campaign really fully underway here with Nashville. Another player who was expected to make an impact this year was Phillips Edina of the Detroit Red Wings, a high pick in the 2018 NHL draft. He ended up being sent down to Grand Rapids. He looked like he was NHL ready as well, but hasn't gotten his opportunity here as of yet. Other guys like Dylan Sakura ended up going down to the American Hockey League, as well as Elias Anderson as well to the New York Rangers. I really thought he'd have an excellent shot at making the Rangers club. So these are all guys that we really thought would be, having a bigger profile rookie season, possibly be in contention for the Calder Trophy, at least in the discussion. And at this point, they're not even in the league. Now we get some other guys that are certainly high-profile rookies as well that we've talked about here before, that are expected to do great things, but have certainly gotten off to much slower starts than we would expect. One of the big names on this is Casey Mittelstadt of the Buffalo Sabres. Mittelstadt so far this season has no goals, and he only has 1 assist in 7 games. He's getting about 13 minutes of ice time per game as well, so not getting quite the role that he was expected to get, probably because he hasn't played as well as he could have as well. He's getting more of a third-line type of minutes instead of second-line minutes, which was kind of what was expected heading into training camp here. But looking at the list of other high-profile rookies who were expected to do good things and have yet to score this season, that list also includes Jesperi Kotkaniemi of the Montreal Canadiens, and includes Sam Steele of the Anaheim Ducks, and includes Philip Edina of the New York Rangers. We're also including Dallas Stars defenseman Miro Heiskanen, as well as Blues forwards Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas on that list as well. You might as well throw in Dylan Dubé of the Calgary Flames. These are all guys that went into training camp looking pretty solid, had a chance to make their clubs, getting a chance here to play in the NHL, and have yet to put their first goal in the net for their young NHL careers, or for at least for their rookie seasons here. So as always, I want you to leave your thoughts in the comment section. My question for you today is, who is your biggest rookie surprise so far in the early 18-19 season? Now, those could be, amongst the guys that are doing really well, who your biggest surprise is from a positive side, and you could also go with who's your biggest surprise on the negative side that is not doing well that you really expected to. Love to hear your thoughts, and we can continue the conversation down below in the comment section. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button as well. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.